Welcome back to the channel, my brothers. My name's Andy R, and this is the Brotherhood of Men. I say welcome back. This might be your first time visiting this wonderful channel, and if so, welcome. Now today I want to talk to you about women who use intimacy as a weapon. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get into the video. So yeah, women who use intimacy as a weapon. I'm talking, of course, about sex. I'm talking, of course, about bedroom Olympics. All of those wonderful gymnastics that you do with each other. Now, this happens slowly. It has to, otherwise it doesn't work. It's like a drug pusher. They want you hooked on the product first, and they want to make the product rare so that you keep coming back for it because you think it has value. Now, like most addicts that me men are who enjoy a nice and healthy sexual relationship, we constantly want more. Just like that addict who doesn't get the high he used to from the first hit. He wants a bigger high. But of course, any good dealer is going to make sure that they mete it out and make it more valuable. And this is what women do in relationships. First of all, they're giving you plenty. All you want, everything, anything, go for it. It's brilliant. I love it all. I will do the lot for you. That gets you hooked. You're thinking to yourself, this couldn't get any better. But then over time, it starts to peter off. It starts to become more of a rare occurrence. It starts to become something that you have to jump through more hoops just to get. That's a woman now using her body to control you. And it shouldn't be happening. But we put up with it because we know what that high felt like. We know how enjoyable it was. And we want it more. We want it again. We not just want it again, but we want it all the time. She got you hooked. She got you making sure that you keep coming back. And then she'll start asking for things beforehand, almost dealing it out as though it's a reward. If you're a good little boy, you can have some of this, pat, pat, pat on the head. And you're thinking, well, yeah, I want some of that. I want some of that. What is it you wanted me to do? You wanted me to change the world to suit you? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Because it becomes more, it starts off with little things. And then you hear those famous words. Well, if you're not going to do that, you're not going to get any of this for a long time, Buster. Well, hang on a minute. That doesn't sound very good. But you see, the thing that women don't understand when they play these games is that each time they reject a man, each time they tell him no, or you have to do something to get what you freely got before, that man starts thinking, this doesn't seem a very equal relationship. It doesn't seem that you have any respect for me. It certainly doesn't feel like I'm loved, because if you loved me, surely you would welcome me with open arms and open legs. Surely you would want to engage in this, because let's not be beating around the bush here, guys. Women enjoy sex just as much as men, if not more. There is nothing more appealing than a very, very horny woman approaching you and saying, come on and drag you to bed. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It feels great. But when she starts making you jump through hoops just to receive what at the beginning you were getting for just being there, you start to feel disrespected. You start to feel unloved. You start to feel like you're being used, and you are. You are being manipulated and used by that woman. If she starts making it's a quid pro quo, if you do this, I'll do that sort of situation, you're like, well, hang on a minute. Don't make out that you're not enjoying what I do. And now you're asking me to do extra, but you're not doing any extra. I mean, let's see the flip side of the coin. Well, if you cook me a meal, I'll give you the todger tonight, love. Just see how far that gets you. You know, once in my life, I had a woman who, we had an argument. We'd been together a few years. We lived together. it was my place. And no, I tell lies. It wasn't my place. It was her place. I'd moved in with her. And we had an argument, a disagreement, and it escalated and escalated. And she turned round and said, "You can sleep on the couch tonight." And that was really an eye-opening experience for me, because I was like, I beg your pardon. So when it came to bedtime, now here in the UK, our doors, internal doors, do not tend to have locks on them. So I just walked straight into the bedroom and started to get into bed. She jumped up. "What the hell do you do? I told you could sleep on the couch. You're not spending this time in this bed with me." Now, although we lived together, I'd bought that bed. And I said to her, "You and nobody is ever going to kick me out of my bed. If you don't want to sleep with me, then you go and sleep on the couch or find somewhere else to sleep. In fact, I don't care what you do, but you're never going to kick me out of my bed." And at that moment, I had a revelation. I was at her mercy because I lived in her place. The only way out of it, the only way I could get away from this, was to move out. And that's what I did. Very shortly afterwards, I moved out. Oh, she was all apologetic. "No, I didn't mean it. It was... No, sorry, you've already done it. You thought you could kick me out of my bed because you weren't happy with something I did. If you're not happy with me, you go. You go and sleep on the uncomfortable couch or the spare bed or whatever. Don't think that you can control me. And just because your body feels great, that occurrence is becoming less and less of an attraction to me because you think you can control me with it, and you can't. I'm no longer an addict. I've been cured. And this is what a lot of men need to realise, that it's one of the greatest controlling mechanisms women have ever had throughout the centuries. But the truth of the matter is, it comes a lot more worn out now. You try and find yourself a woman who's a virgin or has a very low body count when she gets into her 20s, late 20s, gets to 30, 30s onwards. No. What she's dishing out to you isn't exclusive to you. It wasn't, because she slept with other people. So now she's got a poorer quality goods, let's put it that way, has poorer quality goods, but is expecting you to move mountains to have access to it. And if you put up with that, well, more fool you, because you are the only one who's going to suffer from it. So get you addicted at the beginning, just like a good drug pusher does, and then start reducing the supply so that I can control you, so that I can manipulate you. I can get you to do things and then dish it out as though it's a reward. What? No. No, you're not rewarding me because you enjoy the act as much as me. And if you don't enjoy the act, then that's even worse. You're actually manipulating me and treating me like I'm some kind of violator. Well, that wasn't true right at the beginning. Anywhere and everywhere. Every hole's a goal. Take your pick. Fill me up. And now all of a sudden it's, well, only this, or only on this occasion, or only if you do this, or only for your birthday, or only for Christmas, or only for Valentine's, or only if you do something exceptional will I now dish out the goods. You, my brothers, if you're in that situation, you're being manipulated, you're being lied to, you're certainly not being respected, and you're certainly not being loved. Get out. Realise it for what it is. You're in a poor situation. But you start to think to yourself that this is all that's available to me. You start getting yourself into that rarity mindset instead of plentiful mindset. Instead of thinking to yourself, you know what, there are plenty more fish in the sea and I've got some great bait. I'm going to go fishing again because the catch I've got now has gone off. See, this is what happens when a woman plays those games. She starts to destroy her own relationship by her actions. I guarantee that if you walked out, oh, you'd be the one. She'd be the victim. I did a video on that recently, so if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But it's all a case of, oh no, it was him to blame, not I was doing something self-destructive and he no longer put up with it. Because this is something you have to realise about the female psyche, is that they are generally self-destructive. They are generally emotion-led. They're not living in a logical place. And this is where the struggle comes between men and women, because a man is logical, but if he doesn't punch down that logic, if he doesn't, sorry, not punch down that logic, if he doesn't show that logic and show that this is what you're doing, and if you carry on, you're going to destroy yourself. If he doesn't put those rules in place and make them stick, she will destroy the whole relationship just because she can. Anyway, do you agree with me? If you do, leave it down in the comments below. If you don't agree with me, leave it down in the comments below. I do enjoy reading your comments, brothers, because you've got some great insights, and some of the things you say about these videos and some of the ways that you describe your situations give me even more insight. And, you know, it's just great to read and to interact with you. I don't promise to answer all of your comments because I just haven't got the time, I'm afraid. But I do read them all, I promise you that. Anyway, I'm going for a cup of tea. Oh, also, if you haven't subscribed already and you've been enjoying these videos, then hit the subscribe button. I can only grow the channel with your help. If you've got something out of it and you think somebody else will, share it. It helps the growth of the channel. If nothing else, give the video a like. Come on, it's pressing a button. It costs you nothing. But I'm going for a cup of tea now because, well, I think I've earned one. You, my brothers out there, you take care of yourself, because if you don't, who will? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.